The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Vedanta and its application to Indian life, Part 8. What do we want in India? If foreigners want these things, we want them 20 times more. Because in spite of the greatness of the Upanishads, in spite of our boasted ancestry of sages, compared to many other races, I must tell you that we are weak, very weak. First of all is our physical weakness. That physical weakness is the cause of at least 1/3 of our miseries. We are lazy, we cannot work, we cannot combine, we cannot love each other, we are intensely selfish. Not three of us can come together without hating each other, without being jealous of each other. That is the state in which we are. Hopelessly disorganized mobs, immensely selfish, fighting each other for centuries as to whether a certain mark is to be put on our forehead this way or that way, writing volumes and volumes upon such momentous questions as to whether the look of a man spoils my food or not. This we have been doing for the past few centuries. We cannot expect anything high from a race whose whole brain energy has been occupied in such wonderfully beautiful problems and researches. And are we not ashamed of ourselves? Sometimes we are, but though we think of these things as frivolous, we cannot give them up. We speak of them parrot-like, but never do them. Speaking and not doing has become a habit in us. What is the cause of that? Physical weakness. This sort of a weak brain is not able to do anything. We must strengthen it. First of all, our young men must be strong. Religion will come afterwards. Be strong, my young friends. That is my advice to you. You will be nearer to heaven through football than through the study of the Bhagavad Gita. These are bold words, but I have to say them, for I love you. I know where the shoe pinches. I have gained a little experience. You will understand the Gita better than your biceps, your muscles a little stronger. You will understand the mighty genius and the mighty strength of Krishna better with a little strong blood in you. You will understand the Upanishads better and the glory of the Atman when your body stands firm upon your feet, and you will feel yourselves as men. Thus, we shall have to apply these to our needs. People get disgusted many times at my preaching Advaitism. I do not mean to preach Advaitism or Dvaitism or any ism in the world. The only ism that we require now is the wonderful idea of the soul, its eternal might, its eternal strength, its internal purity, and its eternal perfection. If I had a child, I would, from its very birth, tell it, "Thou art the pure one." You have read in one of the Puranas that the beautiful story of Queen Madalasa, how as soon as she has a child, she puts her baby with her own hands in the cradle, and how as the cradle rocks to and fro, she begins to sing, "Thou art the pure one, the stainless, the sinless, the mighty one, the great one." There is much to learn from that. Feel that you are great and you will become great. What did I get as my experience all over the world is the question. They may talk about sinners, and if all Englishmen really believed that they were sinners, Englishmen would have been no better than the Negroes in Central Africa. God bless them that they do not believe in it. On the other hand, the Englishman believes. He is born the Lord of the world. He believes he is great and he can do anything in the world. If he wants to go to the sun or the moon, he believes he can. And that makes him great. If he had believed his priests that he was a pure, poor, miserable sinner, going to be barbecued through all eternity, he would not be the same Englishman that he is today. So I find in every nation that in spite of priests and superstitions, The divine lives, the divine lives within and asserts itself. We have lost faith. Would you believe me? We have less faith than the Englishman and the woman. 1,000 times less faith. These are plain words. But I say these, I cannot help it. Don't you see how Englishmen and women, when they catch our ideals, become mad as it were, and although they are the ruling class, they come to India to preach our own religion, notwithstanding the jeers and ridicules of their own countrymen. How many of you could do that? And why cannot you do that? Do you not know it? You know more than they do. You are more wise than it is good for you. That is your difficulty. Simply because your blood is only like water, your brain is flowing, your body is weak, you must change the body. Physical weakness is the cause and nothing else. You have talked of reforms, of ideals, and all these things for the past 100 years. But when it comes to practice, you are not to be found anywhere. Practice, 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 practice. In fact, till you have disgusted the word, and the very name of reform is the thing of ridicule. And what is the cause? Do you know? You know it too well. The only cause is that you are weak. 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 Your body is weak. Your mind is weak. You have no faith in yourselves. Centuries and centuries, 1,000 years of crushing tyranny of castes and kings and foreigners, and your own people have taken out all your strength, my brethren. Your backbone is broken. You are like downtrodden worms. Who will give you the strength? Let me tell you, strength is what we want. And the first step in getting strength is to uphold the Upanishads. And believe me, say that I am the sword. Me the sword cannot cut, nor the weapons pierce. Me the fire cannot burn. Me the air cannot dry. I am the omnipotent. I am the omniscient. So repeat these blessed saving words. Do not say that we are weak. We can do anything and everything. What can we not do? Everything can be done by us. We all have the same glorious soul. Let us believe in it. Have faith as Nachiketa. At the time of his father's sacrifice, faith came unto Nachiketa. I wish that faith would come to each one of you. And every one of you would stand up a giant, a world mover, with a gigantic intellect, an infinite God in every respect. That is what I want you to become. This is the strength that you can get from the Upanishads. This is the faith that you get from there.